Hi guys, it's Isabel. I'm going to be teaching you about buoyant force because it's one of the units that I struggled with throughout the year. Okay, so the question I'm focusing on is, in very salty water, like the Dead Sea, people float. In fresh water, they do not. Explain in terms of buoyant force, not density. So I know we're not supposed to be explaining in terms of density, but we're just going to use it as a stepping stone. Okay, so it's kind of a given that salt water has a greater density than fresh water because it's saturated with salt. So the formula for density is D equals M over V. We can change that to the formula for mass, which is V times D is equal to mass. So volume times density is equal to mass. Okay, so these two volumes are exactly the same. But if we multiply one by a smaller density, which is fresh water, then we get a smaller mass, and if we multiply the other one by a larger density, which is salt water. If we multiply the smaller mass times 10, we get a smaller weight. But if we multiply the larger mass times 10, we get a larger weight. So, in conclusion, salt water has a larger weight than fresh water. So, here are your two people. One's floating in salt water, one's floating in fresh water. They're displacing exactly the same volume. But since we know that salt water has a greater weight than fresh water, then we know that this displaced water has a larger weight than this displaced water. Buoyant force is equal to the weight of the displaced fluid. So this guy has a larger buoyant force on him than this guy, which would explain why in salt water people float and in fresh water they sink.